All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to stream. I'm alive. Isn't that crazy? I'm alive and I'm around and I mean, alive, I guess, like in loose terms. Hi, Quinn. Our block hitting hard again. I get that. Hello, everybody. Drop another horror art. I mean, I'm gonna. Allergies, partially, yeah. Congrats on being alive. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, alive to, like, an extent, I suppose, you know? And, like, you know, being alive, I guess, is the win for today. You know? I'll take it. I'll live with it. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing today? What's the vibe? What's the energy? Is that my bug soda? I don't know. No, I would be a tree hopper if I was a bug. Specifically, I would be a horseshoe tree hopper. Bug stream. Bugs. Love that critter. Thank you. Head hurts. Hate that for you. I've heard that putting your feet in hot water helps with headaches. I've heard that helps. I see. First time hopping into a stream. Hello. But I'm alright. Okay. Good otherwise. I'm doing steady. I don't like what I did today. Help. Freehand perspective. Yikes! Good luck. I love perspective. It takes a while to get used to, so, like, don't worry about it. You'll get used to it. I don't know a lot of bugs. It'll probably be that bug that Heracross is based off of. Oh, is it a Hercules beetle or a stag beetle or something like that? A beetle. First school to a pumpkin patch. Oh, I love pumpkin patches. Oh, that's so fun. Job interview next week. Would be in Maryland and would be... Oh, I'm not going to dox you. But fun. Glad that you're getting a job interview. And I know, but he's me. I understand. Centipede. I love centipedes. But yes, as the stream title suggests, we're going to be doing a Junji Ito style study today. Haha, cool and epic. For those of you who are spooked of bugs, we're going to be looking at some bugs today. But we are also just going to be doing some horror stuff in general, so if that's not your vibe, I'm sorry. It's what we're doing today. I'm also going to be showing some of Junji Ito's works. Again, if spooky stuff is not your vibe, I'm sorry. That's what we're doing today. Because Junji Ito's work, he is a prolific horror manga artist, so that is what we are going to do today. But before... Oh, he's a rhinoceros beetle. Okay. Before we get into it. Right? Today's stream, sponsored by XP Pen, who have an awesome selection of digital art tablets for both beginners and advanced artists alike. So if you're looking for an affordable and reliable digital art tablet, go browse their store, because you'll find the link in the description below. And... Oh, shoot! That's what I forgot to do today. Oh, I forgot to pick people for the art submissions. I'm so sorry, guys. We're gonna have to skip that. That's one of the things. I was like, alright, I'm ready. I'm ready so early. Why am I ready so early? I forgot to pick for art submissions. I apologize, everybody. I guess we will not be doing that today. But, perhaps I will pick double next time around. But, anywho, if you didn't know, our growing community is filled with tons of art nerds. We art nerds have to stick together. So if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check the links to our social media in the description below. Check out our website for our class offerings where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from our instructors. Because we're not just a YouTube channel, we are a school of illustration. I also want to personally thank our incredible Patreon and YouTube members who support us in making free art education content. Members get access to tons of perks like exclusive chats with our creators, weekly live critiques on Discord, class recordings, digital art working files from our streams, and discounts on live programs that have a limited amount of spots. So if you want to help support the channel or accelerate your learning, consider becoming a member. But yes, I apologize. I forgot to pick the submissions for today for art submissions, but it is this month it is our version of Inktober. It's Wingtober, Wing Canvas Tober. So join the Discord if you would like to be featured on another stream. I apologize, it's not this one. But you know, for streams in the future, right? But yes. today we are going to be focusing on Junji Ito. For those who do not know who Junji Ito is, he's a prolific manga artist. His work is very, very spooky. Traditionally, I believe he did it all with hand-done ink. But as the manga got more and more popular, he started to work digitally. But some of the older manga is all done traditionally, which is really, really cool. Some of the immediate things that you'll notice, one, I really like Junji Ito's style. It leans more on the almost realistic side of manga by comparison to the more stylized side of it, which I really, really like. I love when manga and anime, I love when it kind of pushes the envelope of what that style is. And I really appreciate the way that he does his in this almost semi-realistic way, which is really, really cool. If you take a closer look at a lot of the shading, all of it is hatching. If you don't know what hatching is, it's a bunch of little lines by comparison. Sorry, these images are so crunchy. But hatching is using a lot of little lines by comparison to full blocks of shading. So it creates that illusion of a softer shadow by using a bunch of small, thin lines. And that's really, really cool. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of hand, control, in order to, because if you notice kind of the edges right here, around if you notice the edges kind of around here, that sort of line the edge of this, basin, it curves, right? It follows that curve of the basin. Same thing here, using the hatching to, really accentuate the forms that are showing up on the body, right? It takes a lot of control to be able to get these, really, really consistent throughout the entire form of that body. Same here as well. This is nuts, having all these, houses and all of them being, straight across or, straight this way. That's a lot of control, too. Realistically, realistically, this takes more control than the straight lines, but it's, it's very, very impressive, regardless. But, yeah. Really, really cool stuff. So we are going to be working in this style today, which means I'm going to be doing a lot of hatching today, which also means, I did the sketch off camera because we're going to be doing a lot of line art, and it's going to take a really, really long time, so I wanted to make sure that we had as much time as possible, because I'm not about to sit here and lose some of my time with the sketch, right? So we are going to be doing this with a sketch that I have already done. For those who did not know, we had a poll, and the poll was for bugs, or bugs, and each of those decisions was actually going to change what kind of bugs we were going to do today. So today we're going to be doing bugs. Bugs, bugs? Question mark? But yeah, bugs. So let's jump into it. I'm going to be working with this brush today, which is my old inker. I used to use this brush a lot more until I discovered my chisel, but this kind of mimics the more traditional sort of manga brush more, so that is what I am going to be working with today. Bugs are awesome, but I wish you did bugs, not gonna lie. Yeah, each bug option had a different outcomes. So bugs with all the exclamation points were gonna be smaller, kind of cuter bugs with a bit of horror. Bugs with a bunch of question marks was gonna be are you sure it's a bug kind of thing. And then bugs with just the period was gonna be a proper gross kind of bug. It was gonna be different concept depending on which one was picked, but yeah. Yeah, man. Getting back into Oyasubi Point on the second volume physical might pick up the series. Okay. If you're gonna do that, don't read it in one sitting like I did. You're gonna be a shell of a person for several days. For those who have never heard me say my favorite manga, it has been said in chat, and I don't usually advertise it, what my favorite manga of all time is. I usually only ever say my second favorite, because my first favorite, my main favorite manga, I am I love this manga, please never read it. I genuinely, I can't recommend my favorite manga because it's just, I guess for the spooky season, read it, but it's not scary in the way that it's like, oh, it's ghouls and goblins. It's scary because it's, like, super real. And that's, like, the hardest, like, the scariest horror, in my opinion, but, you know, so be it. Okay, sorry, I have some references off to the side so I can keep taking a look at it. Not the shark one. No, it's the one you said, Quinn. The one you said that you're gonna try and find volume 2 of, which means that you're only on volume 1, which means that you haven't gotten there yet. It's my favorite manga of all time, and I tell people don't read it. It's my favorite manga of all time. It's horrifically dark. It has every TW under the sun. It's horrible, and I love it to death. It is beautiful visually. It's eye candy. It's disgusting. It's awful, but I love it. Hello, welcome in. Because it's like you start off and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a little sad. It's gonna be a little, like, upsetting. It might make me sad and cry. No. No. As I get each volume? Okay. I think I read mine on Lime. I think that was what it was. With me, specifically. I have to work really thin with these lines, because his lines are not very thick, per se. And it's like this kind of... Again, it's the very manga way of working. A lot of, like, very sort of uniform control with everything. Alice in Borderland? No. My dad watched the K-drama. Got cute stickers last Thursday. That's nice. I have been playing Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, and that game is so good. What are we drawing here? Bugs! We're drawing bugs! Just some nice normal bugs. Do it. It's the best way to experience manga or media. Corn has bugs? Corn sometimes eats bugs. I've had him eat several bugs over the course of the campaign. So, I mean, not super inaccurate in some cases. Manga itself is one of the very few mangas that changed my life. You're about to read the manga that changed my life. Not for the better, though. not for a good reason. How long have I been drawing for? I was born with a pencil in hand. There was parchment immediately grasped in my tiny little fingers as I exited the womb. And I said, Mother, I wish to have a set of Prismacolors and Faber-Castell markers immediately on my desk. I've been drawing my whole life. I've been drawing for over 20 years. I did read Tomy. Unpopular opinion, Tomy is one of my least favorite Junji Ito's. I think it was very... By comparison to his other ones, it was less fantastical. It was very... It very much reminded me, like, now as I'm older, it reminds me kind of the Portrait of Dorian Gray. But even then, it was very, like, I found it more like slasher by comparison to what his other manga were like, which his other manga were very, very, like, surreal and a little more fantastical, and I think I like that more. So I didn't mind Tomy. It's not that I hated it, but by comparison to his other manga, I think it is one of my least favorite. But no. I did like it still, but like I really liked Uzumaki. It's one of my favorite ones. I really liked Gyo. I think my favorite one was his short story after Gyo. The Enigma at Amigara Fault, I think, is my favorite one, personally. I just really like that one. I really want a tattoo of one of the final panels. Haven't read any Junji Ito. Do you have any recommendations? Start with Uzumaki. Really, really good one. I really liked Uzumaki. But yeah, Gyo is about fish, scary fish. I'm very lucky, I got to see Junji Ito draw in front of us live. It was great. And in it was a Q&A, a live Q&A, and somebody asked him, like, what was your inspiration for Gyo? It was so scary. And he was like, I don't know, my main thought was, wouldn't it be scary if sharks had legs? And it's like, you know what? He's right. He's correct. Yeah, he was sitting in front of us, and he had like a translator there. It was cool, and we got to ask him questions. He drew Tomy live in front of us. It was cool. That was back in 2019 for Toronto Comic Arts Festival. It was really cool. It was free to attend too, which is awesome. It was just in a really big observatory, like kind of auditorium, and we all just sort of sat there and watched him draw. So based, yeah, no, he was right. It's like wouldn't it be scary if sharks had legs? And like I can't blame him. Like he's correct. Like that, yeah, that's scary, man. Now, when people do style studies, it's very frequent where they kind of draw something that sort of just relates to the style itself. Like, they might draw, like, if it's Junji Ito, then they might draw, like, a woman. Like, they might draw themselves. They might draw, like, a dude or one of the creatures or whatever. And I'm like, I want to draw something that is something that he probably has never done and just kind of mimic that style, because I think that in itself sort of lends a little bit better to it being a style study rather than a subject study, you know? Like, I could have really easily chosen one of my more humanoid characters who were a little bit easier to draw with the same anatomy that he gives, like, women or men, but I'm like, but wouldn't it be cool to see Korn with this kind of line art? This kind of line art and shading and whatever? Because, like, that's different, you know? And I'm like, as much as I love the way that Junji Ito draws, like, humans, I want to see, like a non-human in this kind of way of working. I haven't seen the anime. I've seen, clips. I was gonna watch it, and then I saw the clips, and I was like, never mind. I'm so sorry, Asuko-san. It's about line art. We're going to talk a lot about scratching. Do you mean hatching? You know, babe, what is... Hello, Crow. Why do you own 40 bags of chips? What was that for? Sorry, it's getting hot in this room. Yes. Never saw any proof ever, like, help, the hatching is not hatching. I'll show you how hatching works in a second. I'm gonna have to. A lot. M sent me 40 bags of chips for my birthday and a big box of trail mix. Oh, yeah. That's right, you did say that. You said the trail mix. I guess I didn't register that you got that many bags of chips. Are they at least all different kinds of chips? What made me create Korn was the main ideas Jan was making him, as well as the reason why he's called Korn. I made Korn for D&D. Korn, I think, was one of the very first one of the very few characters I made, like, with honestly no ideas. Like, he was I originally planned on Korn just being, like a guy. Like, it was like, I wanted him to be like this little kid who just really wanted to go on an adventure and nothing else. And then, like, he kind of wrote himself as time went on. It was like, I had no concept for him as at first, and then slowly as I played the game, he became more of a character. Because I had never made a D&D character before. He's my very first one. The only thing, because my friends all kind of helped me come up with the build. And they were like, well, you've never played D&D before, so how about you, like, start with, like, a fairly easy class? And they're like, how about you start with, like, either fighter or barbarian? And I was like, I'll take barbarian, that sounds fun. And then I was like, sure, I'll play a dragonborn, why not? And I kind of want to make him a little kid. Let's base him off of, like, a type of lizard. He was originally going to be based off of a thorny toad. If you don't know what that is, it's the horned lizard that can shoot blood out of its eyes. And that was originally what Corn was going to be based on, but then I realized that there's no such thing as a yellow dragon, and I was like, that sucks. Well, what am I going to do now? And then a thought occurred to me one day that something took over my brain and was like, you're gonna name him Corn. And I was like, why? And my brain is like, you're just gonna do that. And I'm like, alright. And then, like, his last name is gonna be Chip, by the way. And I was like, why? And my brain's like, it's just gonna happen. And I was like, okay. And then I thought about it for a second, because the name came to me from thin air, and I didn't really have a design for him yet. And then my brain was like, I would sell your soul for 1 corn chip. And I'm like, okay, so his design is going to be based on a magpie. So Corn is actually based on a bird. His design is based on a bird, like a crow, a magpie. And his name is a meme. There you go. Should I do a hand study? Yes. Also has bags of hard pretzels if anyone wants them, because I don't want them. I want them! I didn't have any ideas. My brain was like, no, genuinely. Corn's creation is the most chaotic creation of a character I've ever had. But yes, by the way, the person who was asking about hatching, hatching is a form of shading that involves you using a lot of little lines. And when you are doing that, you need to make sure that these little lines are matching the form that you are trying to draw, right? So if I'm going to be shading this, like, neck here, like, if I was gonna do this, like, the way that I shaded it, right, it, like, wraps around the neck. If I just did, like, this, right, that kind of helped, like, it implies that it's just straight across, right? However, if I curve it around, it implies that the neck is curved, right? If I use more lines, then they get darker. If I use less lines, it gets lighter, right? It's the control of how many lines you're going to use. It's the control of how thick you're going to make them, how thin you're going to make them. It's very much a control thing, which is why I did the sketch off camera, so I can focus on the lines for stream. But yes, it's very much a control thing. It is very much you having to be like, okay, how am I going to show off this form that is in front of me right now? How am I going to be able to emphasize it using these tiny little lines? And that's how. So maybe just watch where you are putting the lines. If you're just putting them willy-nilly, it's different than if you are thinking about. Can you see the full sketch? This is it. This is all I drew. That's it. This is the entire sketch. I did it in maybe like 5 minutes and I was like, okay. And we called it done. But no, yeah. I was like, I wanted to make sure that I had that out of the way. Clearly I work a lot faster if I am not on camera. But I'm like, I think I've gotten pretty fast on camera too, but like obviously I'm way better when nobody's watching. There's a reason I have 30-minute for $30 sketch commissions. 5 minutes, yeah. It's like, again, like, it's not like it's super clean. It just kind of gets the idea across and you're good to go, right? Yeah, all the sketch needs is the vibes. 40 bags of chips. You're a bit away from your mic. I thought he just walked in your room and announced he had 40 bags of chips. No. He'll be here at the end of the month, though. How much would I charge for that sketch? For this sketch? I would never sell this to somebody. This sketch is so rough. I would never sell a sketch like that to somebody, because that's not even close to complete. So it's like, how much would I charge? I wouldn't, because it's not complete at all. When I do my sketch commissions, they are a lot cleaner, a lot more thought out. That is not good. That is not a good sketch to sell to somebody. Now, Corn, I'm getting out of the way, actually. I'm doing him first. Even though he is technically, like, the main thing in front, I'm actually trying to get his lines out of the way. So then I can work on the thing in the background, because that's what's going to take the most time. It's also going to be me figuring out how to make a carapace shiny using only hatching, which I like hatching. I am not a hatcher. I do not do this regularly, so I haven't properly hatched in a long time. Why do people commission sketches? Well, artists usually offer them as a, like, cheap alternative to, like, a big thing. And sometimes commissioners only need, like, a concept, or only need, like a visual representation of their idea in a way where it's not, like, super finished. They just kind of need to be able to see it in front of them. And, like, that's totally fine. I'll show you what a couple of my sketch commissions look like. It's not... You just spend a long time on sketch, since I like taking my time with figuring out how the piece would look like. That's fair enough. I have been trained in the game art way, where they're like, okay, your sketch should take no longer than, like, 10 minutes. And that's, like, for the full finished thing. Your thumbnail should take no longer than, like, a minute. And I'm like, okay. So I am, like, trained to, like, it's gotta be fast, you know, that kind of thing. It's like you might have a bunch of different thumbnails and a bunch of different sketches, but they should not take long. Commissions. Where is a recently done sketch? Well, here's a couple of them. I'll give you a couple of them. There's one. Here's another one. Yeah, let's go with those two. Yeah, these are the 30 for 30 ones, so they take like 30 minutes, and then I hand them off, right? So they're not like, the lines are a little bit messier, there's no proper coloring, nothing like that. I think this one specifically took like 20 minutes. It was not that crazy. 20-ish minutes, 25, I want to say. This one was the full 30, obviously. But this one, yeah, 20-ish minutes, I want to say. 20 to 25. Usually my 30 for 30s actually take less than 30 minutes, but, like, because I want to make sure that it's a level of completion within them. But, like, you know, those are, yeah, so, like, you pay $30 for 30 minutes sketch, and it's, like, it's not that bad, you know? And, like, I want to make sure that you're at least getting something clean, right? I don't want to, like, give you something that's awful, but, like, it's not, like, what I would consider finished. It's a type of, it's a level of finish, but not one where I would say, like, yeah, that's more than a sketch. That is just a sketch to me. Sketch like that, I'd almost be tempted to just clean the lines and call it line art. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's what I do. If I'm really feeling like, yeah, but, those are the kinds of sketches where I'm like, yeah, I want it to be finished to a level. Centipede. I need to look at a centipede. Hello, sir. Okay, opening several references. Please don't. Okay, let me save real quick. You've already crashed once today, Photoshop. Please don't do it more than once. Oh my god. When I do comics, I start with thumbnails and jump into line art. Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm like, my sketches, to be fair, my sketches for comics are pretty clean. Like, a page usually takes me, a full page usually takes me maybe 20 to 30 minutes, and it's like unless it's like a big background, then obviously it takes me like way longer. But like, I also just kind of like, I jump from, I don't even have thumbnails, I jump from like the sketch straight to the lines, and I'm like, cool. Yeah, I know, I've seen you work, true. You have actively seen me make a comic before. Yeah, no, it's fun. It takes me a few days to finish single piece. Working slowly is just fun for me. I can't. I'm super impatient. If it takes me more than like a few days, like a few days maybe, if it takes me like weeks to finish something, I get super angry. I am like, why am I working on this for so long? Even sometimes if it's like more than like 2 days, I get really upset. I'm like, why is this taking so dang long? I think the longest I've ever worked on a piece was 75 hours, and it was rough. I was upset. I was like, why is this taking so long? Personally, I'm trying to unlearn my fastness I learned from trying to post online so I can improve better and lots of other apps. Yeah, fair enough. I think the speed aspect of art is for the people who want to be like, oh, I want to be a character designer. I want to be an animator. I want to be a designer of some kind. Because those deadlines are tight. They are tight. Usually they're like, hey, it's like, I actually need this tomorrow. And you're like, oh my god, okay. And then you have to do a full illustration in a day, right? And it's like, that's like nuts, right? But sometimes that is how it is. Because they expect you to be done really, really fast, that kind of thing. Obviously, if you're like more of a fine artist, if you are that kind of, like you want to be more of an independent artist, that's a bit different. But like, even if you're like a comic artist, you gotta figure out a way to be fast. Because there's a certain level of speed that you need. Longest is 11.5 hours. That's like an average kind of really big piece for me. I think it's around 11-ish hours. 10 hours maybe. Joined an art fight event, helping me be less perfectionistic about my art, which is nice. Sometimes I have to accept I don't have to be super clean line art and rendering on every piece. Yeah, 100%. Friend who's striving for animation. I am not an animator. I am not an animator. My best friend is an animator, and I can't do it. That level of patience is not me. I am like, I want to draw once and then call it done. That's not my vibe. Like, the only way where I'm like, yeah, I'll draw this multiple times is if it's like a comic, but outside of that, I'm like, nope. No, thank you. I was wondering why it was so hot. I'm like, oh my god, it's back in the 20s today. I'm like, no wonder I'm like sweating. It's been like super chilly for like the past few days, and suddenly it's hot again. Like, what is this? Canada, please. Finally got rain. That's lovely. A lot of itty bitty details, so many lines and bunnies. See my doggy today, so happy to see me. Yippee! Dog! No rain yet. We got a lot of rain. We got a good amount of rain. Okay. Sorry, I keep on like having to clip my hair back. 61F, I don't know what that is in Celsius. No, I am Canadian. I get hot super easily, so I'm like, nope. I hate the heat. Hate the heat. Bring me my cold weather. I want it back. I'm trying not to make these lines intensely clean because I want to give it that more traditional feel, if that makes sense. Like, I want it to feel more like a pen rather than like a tablet pen, you know? Freedom units. Middle Eastern, I hate the heat too. I'm Filipino. I hate the heat. But I'm born in Canada, true north, strong and free. But, you know. Rough inking pens and messy line art's amazing. Yeah, intentional mess is... That's not even a hot take. Intentional mess is a strategy that a lot of artists use, and it is genuinely because it tends to add texture, and it looks really, really good. I am a texture person. I love when there's a lot of texture in a piece. And, like, thin, very, like, untextured brushes do not do it for me. I need, like, a very nice textured brush that has a good amount of roughness to it in order to feel content with it. Like, I cannot use a brush that has no texture. Not anymore, anyway. That used to be, like, me when I was younger, because I was very, like... You know, very much into, like, the anime kind of look, where it's, like, everything is super smooth and super clean, and I'm, like, nowadays, I'm, like, I can't do it. It just doesn't look good enough for me. I'm, like, I need something that has some texture to it. Because that textured look is just so, like, you know, like, I want to be able to feel what it is that I'm looking at. Remember, when you have a sketch, this is not necessarily a trace, it is a fix of... Your line art is not a trace of your sketch, it is a fix of your sketch, right? So if you notice that things are wrong, just fix them. For me, noticing that I drew these legs wrong, so I'm gonna have to fix that. It's a bit chilly where I'm at, which is nice. Chilly made 27. 27 is chilly for you? Ew! 27 is so hot. I hate that. It's 21 right now and it's hot for me. Love the texture of hatching. I'm doing alright, Troll Fox. Good to see you again. Yeah, 27 Celsius is summer over here. I can't. Everyone around pants and jackets, always chilling shorts and sandos. I'm a cold freak. 30 C plus every day. Oh, I hate that too, but no, 27 is horrible. I hate that heat. Hate it so much. That's burning over here. Hoodies in summer, I think I would burn alive. I think I would burst into flames. I don't think I would survive. I couldn't. Mm-mm. Sorry, this is taking me so long because I am like, it is a way that I'm not used to working. I'm like, I don't like doing thin lines. I really don't. $25 is just room temperature here. Horrible! For here, it's like usually like 22, which is room temperature. But like 22 outside is too hot. It's not horrible, I guess, but it's too hot. I like the cold. Massive caterpillar. It's a centipede! It's a centipede! I love me a good centipede. Bugs. Bugs. No, we're not dealing with caterpillars. We're dealing with centipedes. 18 is nice. 18 is not too bad. It's cold enough to where you can walk outside still in just like a shirt and shorts. And you're not dying. That's good. That's good weather. You can still wear like a t-shirt and shorts and that. Yes, the giant carapace of a centipede. That's cold, man. This snow is lovely. That's good stuff. That's like spring, fall weather, and when it's a little warm. Sweater temp for me. No, that's chilly. That's t-shirts. Centipedes freak me out. No, I love them. There are like the house centipedes, which are like super harmless, but they do look like they've crawled from the depths. Like I think they look horrifying. They look worse than like proper centipedes, in my opinion. A house centipede. If you've never seen a house centipede, please Google it. Don't if you're scared of bugs, but like feel free to Google it. They are harmless. They can't do anything to you. They just look like they've crawled from somewhere evil. But they can't do anything to you. They're actually pretty good for the environment and for your home. Because they'll eat all the bad insects. But they just have a really unfortunate appearance, you know? Yeah, house centipedes are terrifying looking. I personally am not a fan of their vibe, but there's a millipede named Eric in your backyard? Love that. Too many legs. I like them. I think they're very silly. But yeah, no. It's... Centipedes can be a bit spooky, I think. They look like they sound like the silly run sound when they move. Yeah, you're right. Like the Looney Tunes, like... Gosh. I'm sorry, this is a good amount of concentration. No, I have not played Sparking Zero. I personally do not care much for fighting games, but my partner has been obsessed, and he's been playing it like crazy. So you notice how I'm trying to keep all of the hatching kind of going in one direction, and that sort of helps it keep up the look of the form. Yeah, apologies. This is a good amount of concentration for me. I'm not a hatcher. Like, I like hatching. It's cool. It's super cool. I don't do it regularly. Because it takes a really long time. You see now I've switched the direction that it's going in. Right, so it changes the shape of the form. Then we are able to bring the lines in another direction. See? And that gives it the kind of look of it going like this, right? A Need for Pede! Correct! Yes, I did watch Gravity Falls. I did not read the Book of Bill. A lineless artist? I can't do lineless art. I do it sometimes, but I have a deep love for line art, so I couldn't do it just for fun. I do it, like, for like, classes sometimes. Or, like, if the need arises for a commission, then maybe I'll do it, but, like... Otherwise, I have a deep love of line art. Tried line art once and hated it. I've been doing line art my whole life. I think it's just about finding how you want to do your line art, because some people do it where they just get their sketch and they clean up their sketch and they call it a day, which is like totally fine as well. But no, I am a line artist. I love me some good lines. I assume you're probably like a painter then, if that's the way that you prefer to work without lines. Yeah, I figured. I'm not a big painter. I'm like, I don't mind painting. I am like, again, I'll do it if I have to. Or like, I might do it if like, here, I'll show you one of mine. Like the most recent one, which again was for a commission. I did it for a commission piece just for fun. I was like, why not? Like, they paid for an experimental commission, and I was like, okay, I'll just paint it then. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try painting. Here, I'll zoom in close. Right, so you can see, like, all my brush strokes. But, yeah, I paint. I can. Like, it's very much like I can do this. I just choose not to, because it takes too long. And I don't do it very frequently. But, yeah, I can paint. I just don't like to. I don't like to as much. What's Corn's favorite type of bug? To eat or just in general? Love line art. Switch up how I do it all the time. Big fan of just cleaning up the sketch at the moment. Yeah, man. Both. To eat is a centipede, probably. Oh, no. To eat was a spider. He really liked spiders. And then... just as in general, I don't know. Maybe a centipede. He just likes animals. He likes bugs and animals and just being out there. But no, he likes eating spiders. No, I'm not. The hatching on the bug, making it look real shiny. Yeah, man! That's the vibe. Trying to make it look shiny. This is the other reason I don't do hatching, is because it just takes forever, dude. I'm so impatient. I'm like, can I just get a brush for this? Like, I don't... I am a cell shader at heart. I cannot do this. I'm like, this takes way too long. Oh, Nightbot's here. Did it die earlier? I didn't. I wasn't listening to any of the commands. Sorry. Thank you. Anybody have any fantasy book recommendations that do not revolve around romance? I want to read more fantasy novels that again do not revolve around romance. Because I'm like, I'm tired of picking up a cool looking fantasy novel and then it being like, but will she be able to survive her love for this? And I'm like, okay, putting the book down. I'm like, I don't care. I want to hear somebody fight a dragon. I'm like, don't care. Don't want to hear it. The Similarian. Collection of myths. Oh, by Tolkien! I see. Okay, it's a Tolkien. Alright. You know, like romance books? I don't mind it. It's just like, I don't mind them. I find a lot of them boring, though. I'm just like... I'm like, okay, cool, but... I want to get back to the creatures and the world and the... you know? I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I don't really want to hear about how you feel about this person. I kind of just want to hear more about the critters. I'm like, I don't mind romance as a subplot. I don't want it to take over the plot. But romance as a subplot is also so common, and I'm just kind of like, ugh, it's a slog. I'm like, it's a slog to get through. It was like when I read Ready Player One, and I was like, okay, this is like interesting. And then he had like a whole arc of like being sad that a girl left him, and I was like, okay, calm down. I want to get back to the story. I'm like, calm down, grow up. I like dark romance. I'm so sorry. I can't stand dark romance. I am like, that I think is that is like my least favorite subsection of romance. I'm just like, I can't. Like, on the surface, I understand it's fantasy, but like, going through it and seeing like what is around, I'm just like, bro. Like, I apologize. I understand that, like, a lot of people like it for different reasons. I am very, like, I can't stand it. I am, like, I cannot read it without, like, being, like, I cannot take it seriously. Like, it is so, like, it's very, like, it's very book talky. I'm, like, every single time I see, like, something recommended by Book Talk, and it's, like, a romance, I'm, like, do people read this? I'm, like, is this real? I'm, like, I don't understand. 10,000 Doors of January? Nope, never heard of it. I don't care about romance too much, even real life. I'm like, well, that's cool, you got a date for this Friday. I don't care that much. I have a partner. Like, I am, like, I have a partner that I love very much. We just celebrated our 2 years, like, a few days ago. And but I find that in novels, I am, like, especially with very average, I'm, like, I get very frustrated sometimes, especially when it's like, alright, people are gonna hate me for this. I watched Your Name. Amazing movie. Phenomenal movie, right? Beautiful. Eye candy was gorgeous. I thought it was very sweet. But there's like one thing that happens in the end, and I was so pissed. I was like, you and it's like, it's supposed to be like really sweet and romantic, but I'm like, the only thing I could think was like, you stupid man. Why didn't you listen to the instructions? Now look at this. Now we've caused more problems because you couldn't listen to instructions. I'm just that kind of person. No. It was... No. It was just decisions that were made, which are, like, very romance tropey, but I'm like, no, this is dumb. I'm like, no, you caused more problems. You made more problems for yourself. It's kind of like how I feel about that. I hate the subplot where it's like, oh, drama is happening. Why? Because we can't have a 5-minute conversation like adults. And I'm like, right? I'm like, just talk to each other, just speak. That scene, ugh, yeah, Joe immediately knows. It's so funny. And I'm just like, on the one hand, it's like, oh, I understand it's supposed to be very sweet, and people are like, oh, it's so romantic, and whatever. But I'm like, no, okay, but listen, if you listen to the instructions, we would not have this problem. We would not have this situation right now, okay? If we just talked, if we spoke like people, yes? If we listened, you know? I need romance because I'm desperately alone. There was a moment in campaign with Korn, actually. Korn's a kid, so, like, they were explaining to him the concept of romance books, because he's little, never read one, didn't bother to, right? And and Korn was like, why do people read romance books? And one of the other players was like, I don't know, to maybe, like, experience the thrill of romance that they've never had before, you know? And Korn, totally earnestly, I was like, I'm about to make the funniest joke ever, but Korn very earnestly was like, well, if you want to meet people, why don't you just put the book down and start talking to people? Which crushed another player character. Korn's father, like, clamped a hand over his mouth and was like, okay, let's keep walking. So funny. It's like, oh, Korn, they want to experience the thrill of romance. I don't know, why'd you put the book down and go talk to people then? It was so funny. It was an earnest, like, he was not trying to be mean. It was a genuine question. He's just like, why don't you just go and talk to people? I don't know. Korn killed them. It was so funny. It was so funny. It was one of the funniest jokes I've ever made. It was one of the funniest things I ever said. I was like, I'm about to murder this character. Love how much you love Korn. I love Korn. It's been like 2 years of me playing as him. It's so fun. Was it Quinn the character? No. It was Moya the character. It was Moya. No, Quinn also likes reading romance as like from a purely, like, what do you call it? Like a very cold standpoint, because they found it fascinating. Like, there was like a whole conversation about it, and Quinn, the character, found it fascinating. But I don't know that one, I think. Yeah, Moya's our monk. She is our monk in a wheelchair. She's so fun. I love Moya. Being the baby of the party is the best, TBH. Here's the thing, is that Korn, yeah, is the baby of the party, quote unquote, but it's like, he's slowly matured over the course of the campaign. He's just a little dumb. That's all. No spiky fingers? Yeah, go for it. Here's the thing, I like romance if it's done right, and it's so few and far in between when I think that it is done right. Because there are so many tropes and so many, like, things that people do, and I am like, ugh. It's like, it's a slog. It's what I said, it's like a slog to get through, like, the very average, very corny stuff, but then I'm like, I want to get to the cool stuff. I want to get to the stuff that is, like, fascinating and written well and that kind of thing. I'm like, I want different kinds of relationships. I want something that's new. I want, like, a story that I've never heard before. And it's, like, it's so unfortunate that it's, like, so much romance is so, like, boring to me. I am, like, because it's, like, so much of it is the same. I'm like, I want something new. I want something, like, different, you know? So, I am like, I like romance, it's just rare and difficult to find one that I will really like. And it's like, I tend to not seek out romance novels for that main fact. Like, sometimes people will recommend them to me, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give it a try. But sometimes it's just really, really boring. I can't get through it. This carapace is looking scrumdiddlyumptious. I think I could crunch down on this bad boy, you know what I'm saying? My grandma came into my room and asked me how they them pronouns worked. I spent like 20 minutes explaining. She's a little confused. She's doing her best. Oh, I have heard somebody said once they were like that they switched to that they started using they them pronouns, and the way that they got their dad to understand it was just to imagine them as a swarm of bees. And immediately he understood. And I think that that's hilarious, so maybe, like, ask your grandmother to envision you as a swarm of bees. Based, yeah. Me too. I am actually only a swarm of bees. I used to make the joke, I'm actually 732 rats in a trench coat. If you didn't know that, that's what I am, actually. I am just 732 rats in a trench coat. But no, the book that I just got, a friend of mine recommended it to me. Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I've been told by multiple people that this is a really, really good book, so I'm like, okay, I'll read this. Yeah, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I just finished, The Double Life of Benson Yu by Kevin Chong. It was a surrealist. Really good. Really weird. I liked it a lot. It was a bit strange. And by the end of it, I was very like, huh. Okay. But I really, really liked it. I thought it was a good commentary on dealing with trauma and stuff like that. It was really cool. Yeah. She's very respectful. She just didn't understand it grammatically. Oh, okay. Thought it was plural. It basically said we don't really have a singular gender-neutral pronoun other than it. People prefer they instead. Here's the thing, is that they historically has been used as single gender pronoun, like, all the time. It has been used many, many, many times. And it's like, it's not a new concept. It's just, for some people, they didn't recognize that they've been saying it that way for a very, very long time. But yeah. V's are the highest mind. Yeah. It has, huh? Yeah. 100%. Yeah, like using they as like, imagine if you are in valet parking. Or if you are somewhere. And somebody says, hello, can the owner of the green Toyota Corolla, can they please come and pick up their keys? Very, very casual way of saying it. Can they please come pick up their keys? And that is a way that people have been speaking for a very, very long time. It's just, again, it's a thing that you haven't ever noticed. They're talking about a singular person. But they is being used. And think of how many times you have heard of somebody talking about someone, they weren't certain about their pronouns, or they weren't sure if it was a girl or a boy, and how many times you have actually heard somebody say she or he. Think of how many times you've actually heard somebody say that, and then think of how many times you haven't. And it's weird, because I don't think you've ever realized how many times you've actually not heard that. And you're like, oh, so I guess they've used they. And it's true. They probably have. And it's a subconscious thing. It's people that they don't recognize. They don't realize that it has been just this way for a very, very long time. Pronouns. I love first grade English. I'm cooked in the closet at the end of the convo. She was like, you can always tell me anything. And she knows, you can tell me anything, You can, puts an arm on your shoulder. You can say anything to me. I'm so cooked. Wish my native language had a they or it or any type of neutrality, but it's just impossible. Something I really appreciate about English. Yeah. Assigned to gender by grandma. True. You are now, it was like the meme that went around for a while, where it's like, yeah, what was it? It was like, you know you're gay when somebody, like, assigns it to you, actually. When you are said, when, like, Lady Gaga says that you are, you say, like, okay, because I am now. You know? Yeah, I know that Japanese has, like, a third, like, pronoun as well. Like, so a lot of Asian languages have that, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm not sure. Different languages have different things. It's very fascinating. What's the bug's name? I'm not sure! Haven't decided on her. Where's the sketch? There it is. I got rid of it so I could render. Oh, Lord. This is the problem with doing things in Junji Ito style, is that it's going to take forever. What do you call this kind of shading? It's called hatching. Hatching, not cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is a little different. For those who don't know the difference, hatching is using one line in the same kind of direction going over and over. Junji Ito uses hatching. Cross-hatching is if I did it in a bunch of different directions and sort of switched it up in that way, right? So cross-hatching is crossing in a bunch of ways. Hatching is using lines going in a bunch of the same direction. Right, so there is a difference. There's a difference between the two. So you can say you're hatching or you're cross-hatching. But Peachy the Pede! Aww. Peachy Pede. I like that. Peachy Pede. On Krita, I'm so sorry. I don't love Krita. I don't like how it handles, personally. I love her. I love her too. I think she's lovely. I like how I did this carapace. I think it looks nice. I haven't done hatching in a very long time. So for somebody who hasn't hatched in a really long time, I think it came out pretty epic. Crow, what are you doing now? Are you just still working? You still haven't hatched? You should try it. I think you'd like it. Dude, this is really good. Thank you. I do my best. Oh, such egg. That's what I thought for a second. I was like, you mean you didn't hatch out of your egg? What do you... No, you should try hatching. I think you would like it. Or you would hate it. It's one or the other. You need to work in a really, really thin brush, and you can't have any smoothing on, and it's like... It's very tedious, but it comes out looking really cool. Still haven't hatched from the egg. No, you're still texting from the yolk? It's pretty cool of you. Working, I have this wild convo in my head I want to have with someone, but I'm resisting. It's about languages. Yeah? You can talk to me about it afterwards if you want. Once I'm done streaming, you can call. You can call me. Yuppie! Yuppie! I also need to shade in, like, shadow. Get some shadow on the ground here. Yeah. I'm actually not cool. 7-year-old said so. You can punt them. That's a joke, by the way. I'm joking. However, we don't take the opinions of 7-year-olds. We do not take the opinions of people who cannot legally drink. I was gonna say vote, but I think you can vote at 18, and that's still too young, so... I should make orange noodles for Halloween, orange and black noodles. That's so fun! Wait! Oh my god! Wait, Broken Wing Zeal. I saw this, like... this YouTube short the other day, and somebody had made, gnocchi, but they made it in the shape of little pumpkins. I want to try doing it so bad. It looks so much fun. I'm like, I want to try making gnocchi that looks like little pumpkins. Like, what? Pumpkin gnocchi? That sounds awesome. How cute. Yeah, I want to try it. I can't legally drink. How dare you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot that the drinking age in America is different than Canada. In Canada, it's 19. Cute. Yeah, they're so cute. I want to try it. I want to try making the pumpkin gnocchi. Yeah, it's 21 in America. I forgot. Peachy's very friendly. Yeah. Look, she's got arms back here too. When I finally get to the background. Yeah, that's the problem, is that this style is so time consuming. Slandered and bamboozled. I apologize. On the pumpkin gnocchi short. Yeah! So cute! I'm like, oh, I want to make it. It looks like so much fun. Recently saw someone make little ghosties out of rice paper, cut them out with a cookie cutter, and bake them into puffs. Oh my god! Do you think you can do that with shrimp crackers? Canadian Food Network. Is it? I saw it just from some woman. Might want to carve a pumpkin this year. I don't think there's been a year where I haven't carved a pumpkin. I think we've been carving pumpkins ever since I was a kid. And I've been carving them every year. Multiple pumpkin gnocchi shorts. Yeah, that makes sense. But no, I saw there was a really cute one where they were like in the shape of little pumpkins. And I'm like, oh, I want to try that. It looks like so much fun. God, I am not a hatcher. This is taking way too long. Do iterations for a character design? You mean like different like versions of the character before I land on the final one? Sometimes. It depends on what I'm doing. Depends on how solid my idea is from the start. Especially if I'm working for me, I don't usually do iterations. I kind of just sketch until something feels right. But if I am working for someone else, then yeah, 100%. I tend to like get a bunch of thumbnails and then be like, okay, which one do you like? That kind of thing. I'm actually gonna like, there we go. They are on a cave. They are in a cave. Do it more often then? No, I don't plan on doing this more often. I don't wanna. Maybe the stream can be more than one part if the piece won't be finished today. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I am not the one who controls the stream topics. I'm like, I'd love to finish it another day, but I am not the one that controls that. First time I've seen Jessie work at normal speed. Yeah! Ugh! The slog. Peachy tastes like peach? I don't think so. I might cheat a little with the background. Oh, well, I mean, Tomy has ink wash. Yeah. I might cheat a little with the background, use some faux ink wash, but I'm bulking, I need the protein. So true, Joe. That's my goal, actually. I'm gonna make it so that AI's out of a job. Sorry. Take my job? No, I take yours, actually. Ten times blur the background. Basically finished. No, no. I'm gonna like ink wash it. I'm gonna do it in a way where I can use a bigger brush to get the majority of the shadow in. I'm still gonna hatch, but it won't be as necessary. This needs to be more curved. For those who ever want to do a more 3D feeling form, this is how you do it. Just have it curve a little bit more each time you get around. Protein elsewhere. I don't know those hatchet brushes, just like several lines, like a rake. Bro, I'm not about to do that. I have rake brushes. Like I have them lying around, but they just don't look natural enough. It's too soft. I use that one for extra texture though. I do it all the time. It's good. I'm so sorry. Can you hear the vacuum? Give me a second. Hello. Sorry about that. Before you mentioned it, it had just started. My vacuum chill music. She tastes like ink. That makes sense.
tastes like macroplastics. Just trying to get the main forms out of the way here. You know, I'm actually really bad at drawing rocks. I can't draw rocks well. This is about as good as you're getting from me. I find rocks really, really difficult, so I'll have to do a couple rock studies one day. I might be psychotic, but rocks are fun. You're a painter, so you and I are very different with our ways of thinking. I hate rocks. I don't hate them, I'm just bad at them. So I am like, I need to get better at them, essentially. Like, right now, rocks and me do not get along, but one day we probably will. Today, however, not that day. Whoops. And just paint a bunch of blobs and boom, I'm done. No, I can't do that. They have to accurately depict rocks. Do not mind me as I once again am focusing. Purely line art. I was originally going to have a purely line art, and then I was like, never mind. So I am going to gray wash for some of the shadow of the background. But For the majority, it will be majority line work. How often do I look in the members critique? I mean, I always make sure that I'm caught up on the messages, but I don't... Like, to the point where I, like, properly critique stuff once a week. I have allotted office hours, so that's when I properly give critique during those times. Like, each instructor has their own schedule that you can, like, look at. So, like, if you're like, how often do you look in there? There's my schedule. Yeah, for those who don't know, members on YouTube and Patreon, we have secret chats in the Discord where others will post their work, and the instructors, the streamers, we take a look at them. You will pretty much only ever find me in there. Like, in the members chats and channels. Like, I might show up in, like, the general Discord every once in a blue moon, but you will mostly just find me in members. Looks like a hot mess right now. It's difficult. It's a different way of working with anatomy. It's hard, especially if you've never done it before. So, on the members chat sometimes. Vibes, yeah. Is Nightbot just broken? Like, it just isn't listening to us right now? Okay, on the bright side, these legs look awesome. It looks so good wrapping around the rock right now. Pretty cool. Let me know if I draw on a page with Posca paints and go over the opposite side with a marker would bleed and ruin my Posca drawing. Yes. If it is alcohol marker and you're drawing and there's Posca on one side and then you're going to use alcohol markers on the other side, it's going to mess it up, yeah. Fingers and hands are the worst things to draw. I used to hate drawing hands. I actually love drawing hands now. Yeah, no worries, no worries. How? I got good. Kidding. I figured out a way to simplify it. If you envision your palm of your hand as like a rectangular prism, and then if you envision your fingers like beans, that's a good starting point, I find, for people who like really, really struggle to work with hands. Over time, you kind of let that go and you get better with doing it like the proper way, but like that's a good start, I find, for people who like really, really struggle with it. Like, if you think of it as just like a rectangular prism, and then each of your joints are just bean shapes. Like, I find that a lot of people can grasp that a little bit better. It's like over time I've gotten pretty alright at hands without that. But it's that kind of thing where one day I kind of just clicked. It got a little bit easier, but anyone post their art on the Discord? Yeah. Oh, you never draw peoples. Oh, so you're like a background artist then. Yeah, Posco's paint, you probably don't want to overload the paper with medium. Yeah, the biggest problem is just that, like, if you don't want it to bleed through on the other side, if there are areas that don't have Posca paint, it's going to, you're gonna see it. Use marker, yeah. Pencil should be fine. Any dry media should be fine, but wet media might mess it up. Centipede. Mechanical pencil ink, yeah. Hatching! Mostly characters I draw are very simple. Yeah, no, I have been a character artist my whole life. I am more of a character person than I am a background person. I love backgrounds though. I love doing backgrounds, but I am definitely more of a character person. But no, yeah, like I love, like, here are my lined backgrounds. I love my, I love like doing backgrounds with like that kind of like heavy line work, that like nutso, like, you know, go absolutely crazy with these lines. That's my love language. I love, yeah. I love my lines. Lost Dream, yeah. What if you thank you? My backgrounds are more simple than that though. Yeah. No, I love me some big bustling backgrounds, so when I have the opportunity, I eat it up. I'm like, yes. Especially if I have the time. I'm like, yes. Oops, sorry. A collab with Josh is sketching your line art and Iggy's color rendering will go crazy. Yeah, that is pretty fun. That would be pretty fun, yeah, if we did have a stream like that. Point of perspective art. Just perspective art. Just things in perspective. Take a paint a background. Yeah, man. I'm EP, you and me both. I taught a class before this, so I am pretty tired. I'm certain you can hear it in my voice. Me just getting tired. I apologize if you can hear the dog that is outside. What I teach today? We did one of my favorite prompts ever that I came up with years ago. What lurks in the Marianas Trench? In the Mariana Trench, which is just a... I talked about design today. We went over... like what it means to do intelligent design. So we design critters, we design creatures. Mine is this one, this guy. I called him the deep sea bristle shrimp. This is what my handwriting looks like for those who have never seen my actual handwriting before. But he's a little freak. He's a shimp. He's a shimp who has these long bristly thingies that skirt along the ocean floor. He's a bottom feeder. And these really long kind of bristly tentacles have spines in them so that they hook into prey that just so happens to brush up next to them and picks them up and he eats them. Yeah, bristle shrimp. Deep sea bristle shrimp. That was what I called him. He's pretty big. If I had like an average sized person, the average sized person would be like here. So he's pretty large. He's pretty large shrimp. But yeah, no, this was my class today. So we talked about design. I only have an hour and a half to do my work in those, so I had an hour and a half to draw that. Could he eat the average size person? Probably. Yeah, not so shrimpy in size, yeah. Do not mind me. As I look at more references. This is the part where you sketch the upside down very happy person. Oh, you all missed that. I did the sketch off stream. Because I wanted to jump straight to the... yeah, I jumped straight to the line art for this one. Job hunting for the past few months, YouTube ads are bullying me for being unemployed. Yeah. It's so funny. My mentorship class, exclamation point classes, by the way, if Nightbot is working. My classes, my mentorship specifically, is made up of, like, 80 to 90% adults. Like, all of us are, like, above 20. So, like, the last class, I think we had a good, like, super long talk just about the job market, which is like the most like adult conversation ever, but you know. If you ever wondered what my class conversations are like, Sounds scary. It's just glass. It's nothing that scary. It was fun, actually. It was nice. No, my classes are pretty chill, so most of the time it's like, yeah, we talk about art, but then a lot of it is like, it's like, they'll ask for portfolio advice, and then it'll go into other advice, and then it'll go into random conversation, then it'll go into talk about job markets and stuff like that. Oh, the I'm Sorry, John subreddit? No, but I remember the illustrations when it was new. Yeah, I remember when those were, like, first made. I think I still follow the artist on Instagram. And then it just became, like, a meme everywhere to do Scary Garfield. But, no, I remember the original artwork. When it was first made. That was some cool stuff. That one, like, was, like, around when, like, Trevor Henderson and them started becoming, like, more popular. Pretty cool stuff. So watching MLP horror AUs sometimes. I only keep up with one. Like, the infection AUs. I only keep up with one of them. Hey, mosquitoes. Me too. Mrs. Gendered? Yeah, same. that is the only one I keep up with, yeah. I'm like, I want to see where this goes. I need to see where this one ends. It's so good. It's so good. It's genuinely the only one I keep up with. Your hand holding and now I feel lonely. Get a plushie. Sorry, focusing for a second. It's tasty though, thank you. I have pony soda? No. Peach lemonade because I think my blood sugar was low and it absolutely smacks. Yay! Peach lemonade! Is Typhlosion still my favorite Pokemon? Typhlosion was never my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Blitzel. Where did you get that from? Think I've ever had peach lemonade? You're missing out. For the first episode, it was really good. They ran out of budget. Yep. 100%. That's why I'm not bothering. Centipede. 4-episode series. I think I heard that they had like hired a new like studio midway through because of budget cuts or something. I don't know. Or like the first episode took so long to make that they were like, and they didn't realize that animation that good takes that long. So they were like, dang, we gotta change studios. Because or else this is going to be in production forever. And then they also didn't realize that good work takes good time. So, you know, they rushed production and whatever. Did it a service, you bet. I despise lemonade. You're wrong. Sorry. It's actually a wrong opinion. So I'm kidding. You can like whatever you want. Lemonade's great. I love lemonade. It's like one of my favorite drinks ever. If not my favorite drink. Like whenever I'd go to a restaurant, lemonade's an option. I always get lemonade. Never had lemonade? I'm so sorry. You're missing out. Oh, pink lemonade is so good. Why is that controversial? It's so good. I know that it's essentially just lemonade, but I don't care. The pink makes it fun. Bugs and ocean creatures are the aliens of our planet. It's true. Pepsi Max is goated. I'm so sorry. I don't like any soda. I don't like carbonated drinks. I am not a carbonation girl. I've never been a I've always hated like sodas and pop ever since I was like a little kid. And that's like a me thing. And I have no clue why. I've just never liked it. I've never liked the feeling of carbonation. Dang, there is only 10 minutes left. I just looked at the time and I was like, dang. Well, whoopsies. Wrong. I know. It's okay. That's a me thing. I'm not saying that they're, like, bad, because I know that everybody likes them, but I'm just, like, for some reason, I don't like them. Speedrun. I'm doing my best! I'm moving as fast as I can right now. Just thoughts on sparkling water? Of all the carbonated drinks, that's the only one that I can stand. But surprisingly, I don't like it if it's flavored. I only like it if it's just straight sparkling water. If anybody comes to me saying, oh yeah, Liquid Death is the best one, you're wrong, by the way. Liquid Death tastes like tinny water. It tastes like metal. I don't like it. San Pellegrino. I like Perrier. That's the one that I like. Queen, you're right, you should be. No, cheese is everything. I can't believe you just said that in my presence. I'm kidding, it's a joke, but you know. I do love cheese. I am a cheese lover. Like, do you just not like all cheese? Like, what about like mac and cheese or like lasagna or like grilled cheeses? Like, do you not like any of them or just like straight cheese? Nothing? You're nuts. Give me a cheese with nothing. Nothing? I don't even like pizza. It's the only thing I tolerate because I don't want to be that guy. You're nuts. My partner doesn't like pizza either. He doesn't like the greasiness of it. Cheese is life. I live for cheese. I love cheese. I just realized that I really like drawing bug girls. But not like the cute bug girls that are like, oh, it's like they're so cute and they're like adorable. No, I like gross, terrifying, awful bug girls. I just realized that because I had to, well, not had to, but I also designed a bug woman for the comic that I'm doing for myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess she was pretty gross too. He's like, she's a little creepy too. So I'm like, yeah, I like bug girls. I think she's a cute bug girl. I think she would appreciate that. Yeah, the plan was to have, like, all of this. Like, this is, like, a cave entrance right here. So she's, like, highlighted by that kind of cavey entrance right there. You know what I'm saying? Like the cave entrance was gonna be like all dark. Here, let me do this magic. Where is oh no, that's gonna hurt me a little bit. But so be it. Alright. Let's see. Oh no, seriously? Okay, hang on. Let me fix some stuff real quick before we do this. Yes. Yes. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna modify expand by 2. Yep. Then we're just going to lasso all of this. Just to get the majority that is not touching over here. Oops. And then what we do, take this brush. Oh, no, 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 not black, not black, not black. Stop it, stop it, stop! Is there a better one that I might like more? Oh, maybe I like this one more. These are all like really tiny is the problem. Okay, let's go with this one. I should work with a bigger brush. Hello? Oh, there it is. Alright, now we wait for it to load, chat, and catch up with where I brushed. Yes. Hurry, please. Thank you. It really doesn't like... yeah, it doesn't like that it has textures. It's like, oh, chugging. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. Oh my god, are you done? Please don't crash. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Okay, 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 okay. We're okay. Yeah, are we good? Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Hello? There we go. I was like, why are you not listening to me? Please! In case it crashes, yeah, it's okay. It's just taking a really long time. Come on! I know you hate it. Okay, thank you. And what we can do is we can also just lighten it just a smidge. Yeah, there we go. We can even do the Junji Ito thing, or the anime thing where they do that around the character. I kind of don't want to. I think it loses its effect when you do that. Let's do this though. Let's do the thing that I did want to do, which was fill in this area a little bit. Oh, still undissolved. There we go. Oh, it's gonna take too long. Nope, never mind. We'll leave it. Painful. Okay, so be it. We'll do a little bit of hatching over here, and we'll call it a stream. Because these are the areas closest to us. So it'd make the most sense to have at least a little bit of hatching. Wait, is the bug at the bottom of her tail? Yes! All of this is her. She's all. He just doesn't realize that she's back here. Make her eyes glow white too? No. I find that, like, glowy eyes is a very overdone concept. I love it when you don't totally notice stuff immediately. This is using emphasis to your advantage in the wrong way. like making it so something is harder to spot, in turn making the impact more great when you do notice it. So, like, actively trying not to draw too much attention to her, which already attention is drawn to her because of her hair, but trying not to make her a little bit harder to spot, I think makes it a bit cooler. Okay, we're already over time, so let me just, like, really quickly do some really lazy hatching here. We'll call it a stream. Cool. Cool. Okay, we'll call it there. When's your next stream? Couple weeks. Getting as much hatching? Yeah, no, it's one of those things where I was like, I wouldn't know how to hatch this, and I am like, I'm good. We're gonna call it there. I also was like, I didn't know how much hatching I was actively going to do. So I'm like, maybe I'll go back and hatch more of him in there, but then it ended up not happening, and I'm like, it's okay. We can just pretend that it's like maybe he was from another universe and he was dropped in here for some reason. And to be fair, this thing, of anything, this feels the most out of place because it got the most hatching and everything else didn't. Like, this is like the most detailed thing in, which you can tell I spent the most time on, and then everything else is like, you know, it's hilarious. Regardless, thank you all so much for joining. This is the end of the stream again. Thank you so much to our sponsors, XP Pen, for sponsoring this video. Ha ha ha! So, XP Pen has an awesome selection of digital art tablets for both beginners and advanced artists. If you're looking for an affordable and reliable digital tablet, go browse our store. Find the link in the description of this video. And hey, you stuck around for this whole time? Don't know too much about us? We're Wing Canvas. wingcanvas.com. Come and check out the classes that we offer, wingcanvas.com, because we offer more than just these streams and videos. You can check out the things that we teach. I am one of the instructors. I teach a mentorship class and a digital art class, so be sure to check those out. This file that you see in front of you, some of the files that we work on streams, you can see them on the Discord as JPEGs. Well, we always upload them after every stream. Whenever we work on a file, we upload it on the Discord. Come check us out there. Hang out. Come say hi to the other people that are on the Discord. But working files every once in a while on Patreon. We upload working files. Different artists per month. So my month, I believe, just happened. So if you wanted to check out the working file for that one, that is up there for you. But yes. Okay. Who is streaming tomorrow? Tomorrow it is Josh. Josh is going to be streaming for y'all tomorrow. I'm going to teach y'all how to animate multiple limbs. Pretty cool, pretty epic. Oh, take a look at that. And then next Saturday you're going to have Faye, who's going to teach you how to cross hatch. So you watched me hatch for this stream, and Faye's going to teach y'all how to cross-hatch next stream. Pretty cool, pretty epic. So, be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, thank y'all for joining today. And I will see you in a couple weeks. Au revoir. Bye-bye.